Big Brother 23. It's the gift that keeps on giving, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the gameplay going on in the house. It's these morons, these woke twatter morons out here committing crimes and co signing crimes just so they can win some vote for a twist that Big Brother just recently introduced. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're aware of it, so I'm not going to go over the details of the twist. It's a bunch of convoluted bullshit anyway, just allowing production to do whatever they're going to do anyway. But you have people associated with major podcasts, at least in the Big Brother spectrum. Specifically, Rob has a podcast with one twatter idiot committing fraud so Derek X can get some votes. And then you have twatter heads out here in woke Big Brother Twitter proclaiming falsely that someone's missing. So they can get people who are novice or aren't aware of Big Brother to vote Tiffany for the power. And this is the length that these pro blacks, pro wokes on social media and in their real life, but this is the length that they're willing to go to for trivial shit. Trivial shit. And I'm not surprised because they're frauds throughout their entire lives. I mean, we just had an incident occur with the George Floyd situation. We had a bunch of people hustling that, faking outrage. Oh, a black man got killed by a cop. I care, I care. They don't give two fucks about what happened to George Floyd. They don't give two fucks about what happened to people living in their own neighborhood that get killed. Because they consistently ignore the death of black people, specifically the death of children, because acknowledging that is somehow buying into racist conservative narratives of black on black crime. So these fucktards will ignore the murder and death of people all of the time. And their fraudulent outrage over George Floyd and other situations like it is consistent with their fraudulent activity that's going on now. With them committing fraud or co-signing the fraud over a goddamn game. Over a game that I enjoy, but I'm not going to commit a goddamn crime for it. Now, these people are retarded. These people are shameless. Because the defense for this bullshit is, oh, it's just a joke. It's a joke, though. Clearly he was joking. Who gives a shit? Someone tried to just do a joke prank and they got their ass killed. But that's what you dumb bastards get engaging in this trolling culture, this prank culture. You do this shit in real life and you suffer consequences for it, and then you looking around like, oh, but it's a joke. So on top of all of the racism that's been going on in this season, we have fraud being committed. And we just found out, before Christian was evicted, that Christian, the self-professed dumbest person that was in the house, he peeped game. He peeped the fact that all the white people were leaving. So I know if Christian is aware of this fact, the rest of them are aware of this fact as well. But they're not willing to say anything because they're woke libtarded as well. Again, there are these woke libtards who will actually sacrifice their own life just so they don't get painted as racist. Like, this is the stupid nonsense that exists amongst woke or liberal-minded thinking. These people are fucking retarded. And again, to see these people that are aligned in the house, you can tell they aren't with their natural allies. Because out of the six, which really didn't include Hannah until later, but out of the six, Oz's true alliance is with Brittany, along with Derek F. And of course, since she has a crush on Xavier, I could see her naturally aligning with him. But one of her top allies is Brittany. But it seemed like she's willing to sacrifice that just to be a part of some symbolic, useless, meaningless cause. Because that money, whoever wins it, is only going to mean something to that one person who wins it. And then you have Xavier. I showed you all the images of him, with his family, who were all not black. His natural allies are the people that's on his team, funny enough. But again, he's sacrificing that to perpetuate this bullshit ass fraud, once again with that word, of an alliance for woke points that again will mean nothing to his bank account. And you can guarantee after the show he's probably going to hit up Whitney. But I just looked up Whitney just to go off on a side note. I would refer to her as Mama Thickness because she looked good. But now I hate that bitch. I saw her post on her Instagram stories breaking or raising children without gender stereotypes. And she got two sons. She has her son in there pointing at colors while in the spa. So she's one of these parents that will probably support gender transitioning their 8-year-old child, which is currently going down in Texas. But that's a side note, so fuck that bitch as well. Now, back to the woke racist alliance and who their actual natural allies are. Derek F's natural ally is not that six. It's with the people that was a part of his team. In fact, out of the six, the person that's truly naturally aligned with just about not everybody, not just with everybody within the six, but everybody in general, it's Xavier. Like, he's the one who's genuinely able to align with everybody within the six and outside of it, which is why, Claire is kind of peeping his game. But, that's a game conversation for another video. But I want to focus on this bullshit that's going down. Same thing with Hannah. If she's willing to sacrifice Derek X, it's utterly ridiculous. Tiffany. Tiffany, she up here bragging about how she down with the Swirl. She out here with two white dudes. One has 5 kids. One has 5 kids. Now imagine, of course we know the narrative, but imagine a black male saying, I'm with a white chick with 5 kids. And I got another one at the other end. So I'm with 2 white chicks. But Tiffany is the grandmama supreme on woke BB Twitter, so I ain't calling any of that shit out. Devon 2.0. But again, this is why you don't take these people seriously. They talk about, how pro-black, all black, everything they are. And everybody in the six is a fucking swirler. Everybody. Maybe not Ozza, but I don't know. But I'm pretty comfortable to say that all of them swirl. Or at least the majority of them. But we know for a fact Tiffany, Kylan, and Xavier. Oh, and Derek F. So we know 4 out of them. But again, like this is the woke. This is the lip-tarded mindset people. And no one's thinking about this 750K. If anything, the most self-interested player so far right now is Kylan. Because, apparently Tiffany couldn't even win a throne comp to her. They played an elimination HOH where you get an answer right and you pick two people, and you get a right answer right, and then they pick, and so on and so forth. And Kylan won that. And I feel like, even though he said he wasn't trying to, I think Kylan wanted to protect Sarah Beth. He protected his baby. And so far he's been the most self-interested player in the house. Because when he won the HOH, he was the only one that got out the target he should have got out, which was Frenchie, who promised not to nominate him, and then nominated him and risked him getting evicted, especially if the veto wasn't used, because he was going to go home sitting next to Alyssa that first week. So Kylan getting rid of Frenchie and now winning this to protect Sarah Beth is the only self-interested player. Mr. Jesse Smollett himself. Shout out to Metro D for posting that video where that fucking fool is telling some ridiculous ass story about a helicopter cop, chasing him down when he was 13 years old. This is a lying ass nigga. But again, these people are frauds in every aspect of their lives. They fake outrage, they fake offenses just so they can vandalize, loot, tear down statues, and commit frauds for reality show games. This is why I have no respect for these people. And they deserve every single thing of bad karma that they can get. Because I hope these rednecks start to snap on these stupid motherfuckers. Because they deserve it. They truly do deserve it. Because they don't care. Like, they don't care to commit a felony or fraud. They think it's all games and jokes, and they're going to be protected. And the sad thing is, the government is so fucked up, they do actually co-sign a lot of this stupid bullshit, which is why they'll allow mobs to gather and protest, but then try to shut every motherfucker down when they want to go out and enjoy themselves and signal COVID as the reason. But if it's a mass protest, then COVID doesn't exist at that time. So the government is complicit with these fucktards in their behavior, which is why I believe nothing will happen to Amon and the other frauds on Big Brother Twitter. But this is a shit show of a season. It's the most racist, and it's become the most crime-ridden season of Big Brother. But this is the bullshit that you woke BB Twatterheads asked for. So, enjoy the shit show.